10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Frank, and it's finally here. Finally. It is Bambu Labs' new machine, the H2D. This entire video, I'm going to be messing that up and calling it the HD2 because I'm dyslexic, but I am telling you now so you don't leave comments. Oh my God, you keep saying it wrong. Whatever. We have been waiting for this printer for I don't even know how long. Since we got bored of the X1C and we wanted a bigger build volume, and then we wanted a bigger one, and then they released the A1 Mini, and then we wanted a bigger one, and they released the A1. Same size, whatever. But now we have a larger printer, and obviously you guys know it is now available for pre-order on Bambu's website. If you want to go check the link down below to just go and buy one, feel free. But it has all the specs down there. We're gonna be talking about a lot of the features, and yes, it is a laser cutter engraver machine thingy. So I figured, hey, let's just do an unboxing and first look, see what we get out of box, get a first print, get a first cut, see if any immediate problems pop up right out of box, or is it gonna be just as reliable as their other machines and just start working. After we do that, I'm probably gonna spend about 2 weeks beating this printer up with prints and cuts and more prints and more prints, and I wanna see if I can find any failure points of it, and in 2 weeks, I will be putting out a review video on it after actually being able to test it properly. So let's just get it open because that's why all of you are here. So unless something changes in like the next couple hours, they put 2 options up for pre-sale or pre-order right now. The H2D with the AMS2 Pro, just like the standard version, I guess, and then the full laser combo. They sent me the full laser combo, again, with a bunch of other goodies that you already saw on the table, but we're gonna be looking at just the full kit and caboodle, and wow, there is a lot going on here. Before we go any farther, let's just do a quick look at this. Right out of box, it is packaged exactly how you would expect. Everything is bolted and secured inside. Since this is the laser version, it has, you know, the green glass. The new AMS2 is bolted securely inside, just like all the original AMS is. Everything is nice and zip tied. Man, look at that hot end. Oh, I can't wait to get this thing apart. We have both of the filament guides here. Comes with a bunch of cool little parts that we're gonna be diving into that are gonna help with the setup and assembly. You have the right extruder and the left extruder. Let's see, PTFE tubes. There's also a TPU filament inlet, so I'm really curious to see what the arrangement on the inside is. There's a door back here. These vents open and close. Here's the poop chute. A couple other things, a safety key. This thing just looks, this thing's beautiful. So let's keep getting this thing apart and turn it on for the first time. Okay, I have it mostly together. I still haven't turned it on. There is so much stuff that comes with this, and it's beautiful. First off, just like always, there is so much packaging, and between the AMS being held in place by even more brackets, there's tons of foam and styrofoam in this box that I'm not using, some printed parts. Inside the AMS, they include the desiccant, they include all the extra PTFE tubings. Wait till I show you inside the AMS. You can now change and swap out the damaged tubings from inside the system. It's so much easier. They've reworked some things, the release button, everything on the back is nicely contained. They give you the stuff for the laser module, it's the tube and some clamps, the exhaust tube, and there's just a lot going on in here. And then you have the cutting module and the emergency stop, and then you have the build plate for the laser cutter. Before I turn this on though, I'm gonna open up everything else they sent me just to see if there's anything like I should actually still attach, because I have no idea what's in these other 4 boxes. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up, open up the other 4 boxes, and we're gonna power it on and see what happens. Okay, they sent me a lot of stuff. It's kind of overwhelming, so I'm gonna try to take it from the logical standpoints of printer, laser cutter, at whatever the heck. So you have the printer here. They sent me a couple different nozzles that I'm not sure how much of them I'm gonna be able to test, but a 0.2, a 2.4s, a 0.6, and a 0.8, and then support material for PLA. They sent me 2 different beds aside from the one that's already on there, a textured PEI sheet, which I love these. These are fantastic. And then a smooth, just a smooth build plate. I don't know if there's any, yeah, just a smooth PEI plate. So be able to test out both of those. If they're anything like their old, you know, beds, they're gonna work fine when swapping them. They're gonna have different use cases. I'm probably just gonna roll with the bed that came with it. And maybe I'll see about the totally smooth one to get a nice like glass smooth finish. And they also sent me a laser Bambu vision encoder. I imagine this has something to do with the laser because they also sent the, what is this? The laser grid panel, which I think sits over top of this. Once we get into the laser cutting and like engraving, I'm sure this will all become relevant through these setups and stuff. On top of that, they sent me the 10-watt laser engraver, laser module, and a buttload of different materials, different woods and acrylics. And so I'll be able to use this for testing as we go into the laser engraver. What I'm thinking maybe I might do is that 2-week review of just the printer. Maybe that 2-week review of just printing and printing and printing and printing. Maybe that'll be the first review, and then a week or so later, I'll do one about the cutting and laser features of it. This way it's not all crammed into one. I don't know, let me know down below what you guys think would be better, because I'm really torn about that. Do I try to go back and forth between cutting, but I know a majority of people are gonna just want this for the printing. Can it do the better materials? Can it do the harder materials? What's the build volume, the speed, the quality? I know that's why I want it. The laser stuff is just a bonus, and it'd be really cool if I could just swap things in and out easily and not have to set up my, my X tool over in the garage. Anyway, moving on, you guys will also notice that there is a new type of AMS here, and I hope I'm allowed to talk about it because they sent it to me and didn't say I wasn't. This is the AMS HT. It is a singular system AMS, and just like the new AMS 2 Pro, it also has a drying feature. So not only is it just a AMS system with desiccant, it also is a filament dryer. And just like this one, it has some vents in the back. It's a really cool little compact system. So, and there's 2 different outlets on the back, just like the AMS. So slaving these into multiple ports and being able to daisy chain them. Obviously, it's going to be in the roster. So yeah, this thing's kind of cool. And finally, the air purifier. This is a really nice air purifier, a couple different filters. This looks actually just like the air purifier that I have on my X tool. Same little system with a little knob in the front. It also came with the extension hose and some extra filters and all the couplers to hook it up, because this, as the printer itself, has the exhaust fan and the hose that comes out of the back of it, but then you need to hook that up to some type of air purifier or run it out of your shop's window or door. So this thing's gonna be awesome. Anyway, yeah, it's a lot. This is a lot, guys. So I'm going to clear off all of the laser and cutting stuff, and we're just going to get the printer on and see if we can get it set up and get our first print, and then we'll move into some other things like swapping out and adding the laser module. Maybe we can get some type of engraving done. But wow. All right, let's do the thing and turn it on. Make sure you plug in the power cable all the way. Okay, we just started the calibration sequence, so let's take a better look at this printer. The touchscreen flips out, has a USB port right up here. Looks like it has a power button up here. This is actually a vent that can open and close for venting air and exhaust and probably PLA printing. Right now it is going through its leveling sequence and calibration. The green looks really cool for the laser, but opening it up, it's hard to see, but there is a light bar that was flashing down here. And I wonder if this is for print progress, like Prusa's. That would be super cool if it was. I'm very invested in that. It was really awesome. Now I can take this foam out of the bottom right here. Tons of warnings everywhere. So many vents and exhaust fans. The build plate is huge. Real quick, let's just grab a build plate from an X1. So there's our old build plate and the new build volume. Not bad. And let's take a look inside the AMS 2 as well. Here you can see the tubes I was talking about. You just press these out. You can swap them out really easily. The motors are a lot easier to access. You have spots over here for desiccant, and the PTF release tube button is actually now in the back. So just maintenance on this as a whole is way easier. Okay guys, it's settings time. The printer is done with its initial calibration, but oh my God, are there so many features on this printer. I'm gonna take you through all of them, and if you don't wanna watch this, just skip to the next timestamp. But you can go and print files. There are a bunch of internals. I'm not worried about these right now. We're gonna burn through some of these eventually, but you can select the right and left extruder. It will go and move the extruder up and down, which is really awesome. You can pick the temperature of the extruder, obviously, and you can also go and edit which nozzle it is, which one you swapped it to. That's freaking awesome. I love that. That is so nice. Then you can go back, you can control the AMS. It has a very nice display for the AMS now, but you can also load up your external spool as well. So I have a PLA carbon fiber loaded on the external, which you can see right there. And then I can have my AMS with 4 other colors, meaning I can run 5 colors at once right out of box, or I can run, you know, flexibles or multi-material or whatever. It tells me everything that's going on. And we can then go back to the settings. Tons of cooling options. And guys, I want to show you the cool, this has me just geeking out here. So if I come over here to heating, or sorry, cooling, there is a spoiler that opens on the top, and then back here are exhaust fans. And then I can turn it off, and then the flap goes down for cooling. And I'm sure this is going to be auto and, you know, whatever the printer needs, but I just think it's cool that this thing has an exhaust flap and spoiler that you can just open and close. That's just awesome. So you can see it has tons of different fans, exhaust, different things are going to be controlled by different settings between heating and cooling the chamber. You can switch between them, control a bunch of them. So you also have your nozzle, you have your chamber heating, you have your heat bed. So yes, it is a heated chamber, which is awesome for different materials. Then you have your speeds, you have all your standard speeds, your ludicrous, sport, silent, all the fun, good stuff, and then normal axis control like any good 3D printer should. We already looked at that. Then we get into the settings. So we have tons of different settings. I have a USB stick inserted right here. It's 128 gigs. I made sure that the firmware is up to date. There is a version out. There is so many calibration options that I am gonna go through before I send a printer, because why wouldn't you? So there's high temperature bed leveling. So it's gonna heat the bed up and level the bed to that. So you have the best possible options. And it went through all of these other things on startup, but obviously that took half an hour. It didn't wanna make your initial startup an hour, so that's why it left that out, but I am gonna go back and redo that. We have high precision nozzle offset calibration. So this is gonna use 2 different color filaments and use it to calibrate the camera. This is awesome. Gonna go through that and do that as well. Live view calibration. I think underneath the build plate, I haven't actually lifted it up yet, there should be calibration markers. That's just smart. That is so nice for calibrating everything. That locks in great. So that's neat. Gonna do that as well. And the last but not least, motion accuracy. And that's what that third bed is for, the vision encoder. So this is just gonna help with motion. I'm gonna go through that too. I want this thing, I wanna see just how good this thing can print right out of box, because you guys are gonna go and do the same thing as well. So that's calibration, a couple toolboxes for drying filament, and then you have your standard setting, your print options, AI monitoring, build plate detection, auto recovery, open door. It'll pause the print if you open the door. That's kind of cool. Motion accuracy enhancement. When I go and click that, I'm gonna have to go do that vision encoding. So I'm gonna go back and do that eventually. AMS options, you can rearrange your AMSs. It can do a bunch of other stuff. Auto load, read, video. This is only enabled once you insert the USB stick. So you can, it does recording. I am very curious on which cameras record. Is it all of them or is it just one of them? Sound, auto sleep. There's a status indicator bar at the bottom, which is, I love that. And then just the factory setting stuff. And then just all the normal settings. This is great. So I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna auto calibrate as much, just let it run its sequences, and probably do some time lapse of that as it's going. And then we're gonna get our first print going, which I don't know what's even in here. We got spool holders, scrapers. Let's get started. Okay, we're all calibrated. If you're gonna use the video one, the video encoder, whatever, this motion accuracy, make sure you take the plastic off it. I did it twice, don't want to talk about it. So we are ready to send our first print. So we're gonna go here, we're gonna run the bench sheet. It gave me one little note saying that time lapse is in auto mode. So you can go over to advanced options, auto bed leveling on, flow dynamic on or off, or auto. I guess it'll only do it when it needs it. It'll skip filaments that were calibrated recently. That's good to know. Nozzle offset. I'm leaving all of this on auto. I want it to do it. I can turn time lapse on or off. Okay, it's all done, 23 minutes. And this is the first print off of my HD2. Oof. Actually, that's some pretty good light. The lighting in here is fantastic. All right. Not the best little benchy. We got some stuff going on there. You can see the lines right there. Huh. Definitely gonna need some calibrating. Looks like it got real shaky at one point, but it printed. So let me throw another print at it before we try to switch over to the laser engraving and stuff. Ooh, the bottom layer came out nice. Okay, I actually did go and send my own print. It is a 50% scale benchy in the updated Bambu Studios that does now have the H2D. I don't know if this is going to be available for a little while because none of you will have this on release, but there's so much new in Bambu Studio to help assist with the left and right nozzles and extruders, and there's also Bambu Suite for the laser engraving and cutting and all of that. But the benchy is finished and came out pretty cool. Hopefully my camera can actually pick this up. Yeah. This came out a lot better than that stock, the standard loaded benchy. So I just wanted to get this off because I am on a little bit of a time crunch because I want to get this information out to you guys, and I also still need to switch it over to the laser module. But yeah, that printed really good for being 50%. It was pretty quick. Okay, before moving on, there's one thing I really need to talk about. The dual nozzles. There was so much speculation on what was going to be going on with this, but apparently it's going to be able to support up to 4 AMS units and 8 AMS HT units. The HD2 supports up to 4 AMS/AMS2 Pro units plus 8 AMS HT units simultaneously. That's 24 colors available on the units, and depending on how you configure this, you will have different colors going into different extruders. This can drastically cut down print time because instead of purging on every layer, you'll be able to switch back and forth between the nozzles, not requiring purging. There is a multitude of different applications for this now, or having your external spool, or having support material, or flexibles, or PETG, or mixing materials. There's not enough time in this video for me to cover all the things I'm thinking I can do with this, but this is a really cool little system, and being able to switch between the filaments without having to purge is going to help save a lot of waste material. Oh, and on top of that, eventually the AMS2 Pro will be compatible with older series printers. At launch, at the very least, it will you can still print with them, but the dryer functionality will require some upgrades, or might require upgrades in the future. They're not sure, but hey, at least you'll be able to use it. Okay, guys, it prints. I think we know that. I think that was always going to be assumed that it was going to work out of box. And I wish I could get more prints off of it, but like I said, I really want to get this video out to you guys so you have an overview and you know what to look at. If I can get 5 or 6 more prints off of this, I don't really think it would make a difference unless I had like a week to beat it up. Hence why I'm going to put out that review video. I'm very curious to see how much earlier other people got them. So by all means, don't just take my word for it. Like, this isn't a review. If somebody had gotten it a lot sooner than me and has been beating up, go watch their videos too. Really, I know this is going to be an expensive printer. As of making this video, I don't know the cost of this. Actually, I won't be able to add it to the video before release, so go check the website. I'll probably put it in a pinned comment or update the description, so whatever that price is, but I won't have time to add it in the video. I don't know how much it's going to be. I'm thinking like $2,400 to $2,700, but I want to get it converted over to the laser function, the cutting module and the laser module, because if you are interested in that, you are looking at that combo package, I want to know, does it work completely out of box? The AMS worked. Hopefully the AMS2 worked. Everything's working so far. So let's go and add on the new features and modules and try to get a cut, try to get a laser, try to get something engraved to see how easy that is, or is that going to give me problems out of box? But the printer prints, and then come back to that video eventually once I really beat this thing up. But I like it already. This is cool. So yeah, let's cut some stuff. All right, so we are cutting. It honestly took about 10 minutes to swap everything over, let it do its calibration. It again guides you through everything. And the only thing I didn't like is it didn't have any predetermined files on the printer or cutter itself. So I did have to come over here. And if you've ever used a program like Lightburn or any type of laser engraving program, this is Bambu Suite. Very easy to use so far, really no complaints. There's gonna be a whole learning curve with this, obviously, but I dropped my logo in, I was able to go select the material, it was some plywood, I was able to send it to the printer, I can view it live. This was just very easy to actually go and do, and it does have some good safety features. You cannot start a cut job from the computer. It will always send it over to the machine. You have to go, verify, do some checks, and you actually have to hit this button on the top to start the actual cut. Now, so far it does have some good safety features. What I did notice is Bambu did not include glasses. So yes, there are features that I'm about to test. I want to open the door and make sure it stops the cut, because that is a big safety feature. But what if the glass shatters? What if something's loose? What if there's a break in something? That laser could damage or hurt your eyes. So I definitely want to see, does it stop? So let's find out. Okay, it immediately stopped. That is really good. So it paused. Okay. Oh, actually, right as I opened that, I got a text saying that with an error. So that was immediate. So let's resume it. Resume, problem solved. Picks right back up. Cool. Now let's see if the top door works. Same thing. Awesome. Good. Resume. I got another text. That is great news. I will do one more cut after this because I want to use the emergency stop button. I want to, it just kills power to the printer. I'm not worried that it's not going to work. I just actually want this to finish. I wonder if it'll pick up from where it left off on the cut. I'll test it on something else because I actually want this to finish. So, oh, also, the air purifier, I have it running. I don't smell anything, and I am burning wood right now. Now, granted, this is just some plywood. It's not that bad. I would have this hose out the door if I was cutting acrylics or any types of plastics. But so far, the air purifier is doing a fantastic job. I don't smell anything in this room, but I'm not going to do any types of plastics or anything that's going to put out anything toxic until I get the hose properly routed. But good job. All right, all done. Oh, please wait. My bad. These little magnetic arms are really nice for actually holding the piece down. So, I like it. Okay, so I started some random cut. It's going right there, and we're just gonna... Boop. Well, that's good to know. And let's see what happens when I turn it back on. All right, so if you turn it off, that's it. It's a fail. It makes you go back and restart. That's fine. Okay, now, shush. Now we are doing some vinyl cutting, and I actually have, I have a whole bin of vinyl over there. Same process, same program. It operates just like Lightburn, which is really nice and convenient. So we're just gonna use some gold. Yeah. Same deal. Come over here, send the print, fasten the quick release lever. That's all done. The module's installed. So I need to make sure I am by the machine to press it and actually start it. Since it's not burning or doing anything that could like blind you, everything can be open. This way you can watch the vinyl be cut and all that. Like I showed you before, it gives you a light grip side and a strong grip side, and it has a material library. I'm sure Bambu will continue to update that with new and better materials and different options and stuff. So we're gonna see how this cutter works, and maybe I actually won't have to set up that new Silhouette Cameo, the Cameo 5 I just got. Oh wow, it's actually cutting. I don't know why I'm surprised. It shouldn't have gone through the white on the back, and it didn't. That's great. That's good news. So let's see if I can peel this out. All right. Would you look at that? It's a vinyl cutter. Cool. Okay, so we printed some things, we engraved some things, and we even vinyl cut a thing. Don't ask me where I put the sticker, you'll find out one day. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I wish I had more time to test all of these features, but the first and foremost thing of getting a product like this is, does it work? Like, out of box, does it work? And setting up the printer, super easy. The AMS system works, the new AMS 2 Pro, everything on the printer worked, improved calibrations. The build quality of this thing is beautiful. It was easy to set up, and it's just a bigger Bambu. Even if it performed just as good as the X1C for me, but was this build volume, I'm already sold on it. This is why I want this machine, a larger Bambu. This is all we've been asking for a while, and now I can really beat this thing up. But if you are a maker who wants access to something like laser engraving and laser cutting or a vinyl cutter, I honestly really didn't know it was going to be a vinyl cutter until very, very recently when I started getting some of the media from Bambu about it. And now I don't have to set up my Silhouette Cameo, and then if I want to engrave or cut something that's really small or simple, I don't have to use my X tool. We've had all-in-one machines before. I'm not going to name any brands, but any all-in-one engraver or cutter or whatever that I've used, they're not good. They're okay at one thing, or they're okay at each thing, but they're not great at one individual thing. Like the printers I've used, like they 3D print okay, but switching over the modules and getting everything calibrated and figuring it out, it's not easy, and half the time it's not even that good. I'd rather use the printer to print and the engraver to engrave and the vinyl cutter to vinyl cut. But this is actually a really cool stab at an all-in-one that is super easy to swap over. Bambu's user interface makes it so easy to just change them over, and I'm already impressed with it. I was able to go through all three of them within an hour of each other and had no mess-ups or fusses, and all the instructions were right there on the screen. What more could you ask for? Now, like I said, 95% of you, probably even more who watch my content who are in the 3D printing side of things for this machine, you're just gonna want the machine to work, and I am very excited to beat this thing up more. But if you are coming over from another makerspace, like laser cutting or laser engraving or vinyl cutting, well, I'm hoping to be able to test those features out more and give you good information on that. But like, if it can vinyl cut this good first shot with like limited knowledge, and granted, I know how to use vinyl cutters, I think you guys will actually like this machine, being able to make decals and stickers, especially in cosplay. This opens up a lot of possibilities for multi-material builds and stuff, and I'm nowhere near done scratching the surface of this. I can't really give you guys final thoughts on this printer and machine yet because I just haven't tested it enough. But I hope this gave you information on what to expect out of box when pre-ordering it, if you go and pre-order it immediately and you've just been waiting for this machine and you're just happy with what you saw in this video. So in closing, it was easy to set up out of box. It came all pre-assembled. The setup and calibration was easy. I had no issue setting it up. Any weird thing with the calibration because I had the AMS things in the wrong slot, that was totally my fault. Figured it out. And then swapping the modules back and forth was ridiculously easy and the easiest all-in-one machine I have used to date. So right now, no notes on this, and I'm very excited to continue to use it and just start beating it up and get you guys more information. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns about anything you saw in the video, or you want me to expand on something, please leave a comment down below. I will read all of them, and it's definitely going to gauge on how I approach testing this machine. For those of you that care, I am about to start a brand new Iron Man suit, and this thing is going to be an absolute weapon in helping me build that and make that come to life. And one last thing before we go, I do want to say thank you to Bambu Lab for sending me this machine early to test out with all of these awesome accessories and allowing me to do this type of stuff. And I want to thank you guys, as always. Thank you so much for watching. You have a good day.